Aho, hanachini karagiwi, huachdega wahanangshana egijige hante hanichawida haipin. Hello, everybody. Huachde here again, and I'm happy to see everybody. Welcome to our Kinship Module 2.2. That's right, we are in our second week of Kinship, and this is actually the fifth video of what is going to be a very big topic for our Hoyt A online learning program. Once again, Kinship, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of vocabulary, but there's a lot of concepts that are very different than how most of us are used to reckoning kinship and determining what kinship terms to use. And so again, we're trying to break it down into bite-sized chunks so that everybody has as good an opportunity as possible to learn and acquire everything. Today's video, this is going to be just a little bit longer than what we've been doing, not too much, but that's because we have some new concepts in addition to the vocabulary to introduce. So I'm going to do my best to keep it brief for y'all, so I'm going to jump right in. Okay, so Kinship Module 2.2. Today we're going to be talking about parents, siblings. So we have learned so far, we've talked about our own siblings, we've learned the terms for our parents, we've learned grandparents, but now we're going to talk about a little bit more extended out our parents' siblings. So we're going to start with this gentleman, and again, we've already learned the words for parents. There's Uni Hira, Aga Hi Anshira, his mother and his father. And we learned the terms for grandparents, but what about your parents' siblings? And we're going to have to take this in two different steps. We're going to start with the mother's side. So let's start with the mother and the mother's brother, which in English we would say uncle. And here in Ho-Chunk we would say Hideg. Hideg. That is the word for uncle. Your mother's brother is called Hideg, uncle. Well, then your mother may also have sister or sisters. And what would the term for that be? Well, in English, we would call that an aunt or aunt, or however you would say that. That's the term. But in Ho-Chunk, your mother's sister is called Hiuni. Hiuni. Now, hopefully everybody recognizes that term and says, wait a minute, Huangde, that's the word for mother. And that is correct. So the way in Ho-Chunk, and this is again very different than how we reckon kinship in the English speaking world. Hiuni, mother, your mother's sisters are also your mothers. Okay. So once again, just real quick, your mother's brother is called Hideg, your uncle, but your mother's sisters are all called Hiuni. Those are also your mothers. So that's the female side, or that's the mother side. What about the male side? What about on the father side? You know, what does that look like? So let's just flip things around a little bit and have a look. So let's start with your father's sister. Now your father's sister, your aunt, would be Hichui. Hichui. And again, that's aunt. That's your father's sister. Well, what about your father's brother? Does anyone want to take a guess? So remember, your mother's brother is called your uncle, but your mother's sisters are called your mothers. Well, your father's sister is called your aunt. Anyone guess what your father's brothers are called? That's right, Hianch. Hianch. Your father's brothers are also considered your fathers. You would use the same term for them as you would for your dad. So Hichui is your father's sister, your aunt, and Hianch is your father's brother, or also one of your fathers. So let's have a look at another fictional family tree, and we threw some names in, and I'm going to go over some sentences. Thomasga hideghida jagu higaide. Thomasga hideghida jagu higaide. Thomasga hideghida Chrisga higaide. Thomasga hideghida Chrisga higaide. Thomasga hichuihira jagu higaide. Thomasga hichuihira jagu higaide. Thomasga hichui hida Cyprusga higaire. Thomasga hichui hida Cyprusga higaire. Okay, very good. Now I want to put another word in there on dads and moms. So remember, like we said, your dad's brothers are considered also your dads, and your mom's sisters are also considered your moms. So there's other terms that you can use. Recall jaji is kind of the more informal term that you call your father. Well, if you're referring to your dad's older brother, a lot of times people will say jaji khate, which literally means big dad. Khate means big. So jaji khate, big dad. And as you might guess, if you want to talk about your dad's younger brother, you could say jaji khunu, which literally means little dad. Once again, khunu means little. Jaji khunu, little dad. And the same also goes for your mothers or your mom's sisters. Nani khate. Nani khate. It's a big mom or the mom's older sister. Or nani khunu. Nani khunu, which is little mom or your mom's younger sister. So I wanted to throw that in. The khate and the khunu might be some new vocabulary, but I believe we did cover some of that previously. So there's also the informal terms. And once again, jaji is dad rather than hianch. Nani is mom rather than hiuni. Dega is the informal term for uncle or for your mother's brothers, dega. So formally we would say hideg. Informally, it's dega. And your father's sisters, your aunt, you would say chui. Chui. Okay, so that's all we have for this week. Keep practicing, keep plugging away. Maybe make up either your own family tree or make up a fake family tree. I like to take famous family trees sometimes when I'm in the classroom. So like a Simpsons family tree or a Pulp Fiction family tree kind of thing. And I try to throw different variations in there so that people can get some practice and you can get some time working with the terms and then trying to make sure you hammer home some of the more unfamiliar concepts, such as like calling your mother's sisters your mother and your father's brothers your fathers. So yeah, so that's it. As always, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. All of us are available and we want to help. And yeah, check us out on our Facebook site, the Ho-Chunk Academy, as well as the Ho-Chunk Wazijichi Language Division. Could go to the website, hochunk.org, and also look for new videos and materials to be uploaded to our YouTube channel, the Ho-Chunk Academy YouTube channel, to give you a little bit of extra practice with some of the new material. And yeah, hopefully we get to see you guys Wednesday at 11 a.m. for our Eminent Speaker Zoom session, and also Thursday at 11 a.m. for the question and answer and for a little bit more practice with the instructors. Yeah, so Jegun Kia, Aizo Onwiaji.